Hello, my name is James Spiro and this is AI 2024. I'm joined now with Ami Gal, the co-founder and CEO of SQream. Ami, hi.
Hi, good to meet you again.
Good to meet you again. Thank you so much for taking the time. Tell me about SQream and what we're doing here today, please. Why are we chatting? What's happening here?
Yeah, so GPUs and AI and data, it's the architecture tsunamis that are going through the market right now. People understand the value of AI in their own ChatGPT console, but on the level of enterprises are getting the holy grail of AI insights. So what we see in the market right now, that there are what they call AI factories that create insights with a huge value to organizations and societies. And the infrastructure of that is built of data and algorithms. So SQream is about marrying data processing and vis-a-vis AI algorithm running on top of GPUs natively. This is we are here. Part of the infrastructure of a lot of the applications that you see here are built on data and AI being ran on SQream.
So it seems like the whole world is being run with AI.
Yeah.
It seems to be penetrating every single sector of the world. And so while AI has been a catalyst for some of this GPU adoption, what are some of the other ways that customers can leverage these capabilities?
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that your customers can do this?
Yeah, so I can give you a couple of examples. One of our clients is Samsung, and they have a very large fab that creates a lot of data. And when they create the screens for the smartphones, for other devices, and when they start to produce a new product, 70% of the new products are with defects. And what they are looking for is to get to 100% not defect at the minimum time. So the way they do that, they ask a question like, what are the 5 most important factors that impact the good yield of the factory? The way they get answers from is their LLMs are running on top of large amounts of enterprise data that's being processed with our software, with SQream, and with GPUs and with other components. And they are moving the time frame to move from 70% defect to 100% perfect, moved from 3 quarters to 1 quarter, which is wonderful for them. Another example can be banks and credit card companies that they need to decide in a fraction of a second if a certain transaction is fraudulent or not. You don't want someone to steal your credit card. So it's their responsibility. So in order to compute that in a fraction of a second, they need to run the whole night with all the data and algorithms on top of very complex queries. And this is where we help them to do that in a very large scale.
Okay, that's amazing. And you certainly don't want any of your money taken.
Yeah.
And if you do, you want it rectified immediately. You mentioned banking and finance as one of the sectors. What are some of the other sectors that can be penetrated? I've heard today that legal tech is getting the AI boom, maybe finally, because it seems that it's a bit more of a conservative industry. What are some of the other areas that you find are benefiting from all of this?
One of the earliest, sectors, the sectors that adopted machine learning and AI and deep learning was actually healthcare, right? So you can create a new drug creation costs about $1 billion, right? And you can really shorten the time frame to do that with data and AI. So drug development, genome research, these are sectors that started working with these algorithms, a decade ago, and today you see the fruits. So healthcare, cancer treatment, designing of new drugs, designing of better treatments to patients based on their genome profile. This is something that is already going on in the market quite a bit. I think telco operators are adopting it quite a bit to make sure you never had a disconnect. Because if you have a disconnect, you go to another vendor, right? So they can't afford that. So some of it is for the better of society, like planning transportation, I'll give you one example that was really interesting. During the COVID times, they ran algorithms on very large data sets. What happened to the disease spread if they bring back the public transport, right? And they did a calculation, and the number of buses and number of lanes in New York, for example, came back based on the minimum effect of the disease spread. So this is like an example that was already done in the market.
That's pretty interesting, and so it's really these things like transportation and how they relate to healthcare, and also healthcare.
Yeah.
They can save millions and millions of lives.
Millions.
It's not just about streamlining your work process, but it's about keeping grandma alive.
You know why we don't have treatment to cancer yet? We have enough data, we have enough compute, we have SQream, so we can do everything. Because of regulation. Because data sets cannot be shared between countries in the US, for example. But think about it, you have enough data. If they can monetize you on Google, 99% guesstimate of what you want to buy, and they bring you the right ad, they can do that to cancer treatment. They just don't have enough data or to merge the data for specific situations. So I think this is coming. And you're going to see people that are getting an SMS from their health insurance. You need to come right now to get this and that, otherwise you'll have cancer in 5 years. And I think we are just in the brink of being in this situation.
But it's not just regulations it's not just the data to help cure cancer, it's also the regulations, because you can't it's not so easy in healthcare to just pump people with experimental treatment. So that's one of the areas that's most carefully, you have to kind of navigate more carefully.
So privacy is a big thing, right? And by the way, Homeland Security and cybersecurity are also adopting at large this. But you need to mitigate between public healthcare to public privacy, because, healthcare can advance much more if we can find ways to anonymize the data and just do the research and get people treated faster. We will find a way, and you're going to see impact on transportation, on pollution, on the situation in the sea, on every aspect of our life, using algorithms and big data technologies.
Wonderful. I have one last question for you, which is defense tech.
Yeah.
A new booming, not new, but it's an up-and-coming booming sector, especially since the war. What are some of the things that maybe we might be seeing there? Is that a new industry? Is that somewhere that SQream or AI might be able to revolutionize alongside everything else?
So we do see some stuff that is based on very large data sets and very large compute. It's more on the cyber side of defense. Right. And on defense, we see time shortage of developing new ways of defending and attacking. But a lot of the defense tech is a little bit is algorithms, and a lot is, the good old stuff of creating technologies to attack or defend. We do see initial initiatives on defense tech, but a lot of it is algorithms right now. You don't need that much data today. Maybe tomorrow is going to be different.
Not World War III, but World War IV will be with algorithms.
We don't want the World War. This is not progress, but we're trying to avoid it. We're trying to avoid it, right? So, yeah, it's a big thing that is coming.
That makes sense. Ami Yigal, co-founder and CEO of SQream. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.